Hey everybody, hope you're all having a good day. Okay, never mind, it's fine. We're gonna continue our Ace Attorney Chronicles. We finished the second episode on the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, so we're moving on to the third one. And I think there was mentions here there was extra escapades. Yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, let's do these at the end. These will be fun. Yeah, so yeah, so let's do all these at the end. I think they're just mere short ones. So yeah, I said that though. The return of the great departed soul. That's where we are on. Let's go. The return of the great departed soul. Episode 3.
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case. And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the crystal tower itself, brought the truth to light.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
Yeah, I was gonna start with that. Talk with that. We got more dialogue. Okay.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world. Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies.
So basic cars and planes.
And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Oh, super high voltage instantaneous kinetic machine.
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
A teleporter? Oh, that's dangerous. That sounds dangerous in this point in time.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before. In but a few moments from now, these gentlemen will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you! This one, yes, yes, yes! Woo!
This can only go one way, and this is an Ace Attorney game, so it's gonna go one way, and it's not a good one. So 2nd of October, 9:46 a.m. Sholmes' Suite. Bruno, are you listening? Oh, sorry. What was that, Iris? What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast? Oh no, that's not it at all. What are we talking about again? Today's paper! It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again. Oh yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime. You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Wouldn't you agree, Harry? Did you say something, Iris? Oh gosh, you're even more down. Whoa! When's your ride, Mr. Naruto? Sorry. I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? What you might know why? When I was here. You know, because breakfast. Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in film. So much that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observation. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly it's been deduced before, but that... I'm just like you right there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks. Again. It crossed my mind recently. That's been 6 months now. 6 months? Since I was forbidden from working in court. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned. Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Would you agree, Harry? Did you say something, Iris? Ah, back to moping. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems to be more down in the dumps than me. I know! And the Great Exhibition is open! You'd think he'd be excited. Oh! You want me to all go see it together? I want to, of course I do, but I can't! Not for the time being! Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. You're embroiled in some trickery case that you can't be distracted from. Is that it? I don't remember hearing that you were working on a case, Harry. I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Yes, the huge smell. Yes, with lace. Cloth light on. Being used as a table for tea and coffee. It's very sturdy, that's for sure. Firmly locked shut. That chest contains my father's detailed records of Huey's many cases. Yes, so I've been led to believe. Though personally, I've never actually seen inside. And that's the way it'll stay. Those papers are a secret between Daddy and me. Going to open it on fighting, you might find yourself being bitten. What? Is there a piece inside there? Or something? I do love a good fire in the cooler months. Watching the flames flicker and dancing about is just so very relaxing. Cleaning up the chimney isn't relaxing though. Isn't so relaxing though. Sorry. No, getting covered in soot isn't my idea of fun. No. Read the sign. Yeah, Harry decided he was going to clean it out himself last year. But you can guess what happened, can't you? He got himself stuck inside the flue. He's a very slim man, I admit. There's a limit where a fully grown man can fit. Now every time he does off by the fire, he has nightmares about it. Oh, these different places of evidence from cases that Mr. Sholmes has solved are very interesting. Trouble is, he forgets things so quickly. He never remembers why these things are relevant. The other day, for example, he saw the orange pipes that were there and decided to plant them in the garden. Pipes? Or pips? Sorry. Yes, they're all sprouted now. We have 5 new little plants. Oh, I don't know where that case they were from, but if Mr. Sholmes can get orange to grow outside England, he should change his profession. Ah, yes, Mr. Sholmes' faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by someone famous? Yes, it's a Stradivarius. I'm afraid you'll have to save up for a few hundred years before you can afford one, Marino. If I were to save up for 100 years, I wouldn't choose to buy a violin personally. Oh, what would you buy then? I really have no idea. I think I'll have to do it. Oh, yeah, do it so I can find out. Books, papers, scientific implement. These hours are stuffed to the gunnet. Mrs. Allen would be able to help her stuff as you were here. Can't stand mess. So she might not be able to stop mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves. Oh, why not? Everything is in intricate balance. Everything's in intricate balance. He spends ages on it. If you were to touch even one thing, the whole lot would come tumbling down. Susie knows it was a very delicate arrangement right from the outset. You make it sound like a meaning of great minds. The truth is, Mr. Sholmes just needs to tidy up. Every time I look at that machine, I can't help thinking what a monstrosity it is. What's it called again? The Great Analysis-Scope. I can analyze absolutely anything, you know. It does seem incredible, and at the same time, incredibly useless. But it's so impressive, doesn't it? It looks impressive, doesn't it? So that makes it useful. How useful? How does that make it useful? Because it means you can pawn it for lots of money. The pawnbrokers always add remarks like, "What an incredible looking machine." So he often takes to the pawn shop when he's a little short. It sounds like this thing pulls its weight around here more than I realize. By having this weight pulled around. Oh, I can type with my eyes, you know. I can believe it. When that time approaches, you sound like a Gatling gun. That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one. It woke me, actually. I was typing for a whole hour in pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake. That's incredible. Then, when I got light, I found that there wasn't any paper in the machine. Now I wonder if I actually have been typing at all. I think you just I think you might just have fallen asleep on the job. I look forward to finding out what aromas your tea will have, Iris, every single day. Oh well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs from the garden every time. It was never the same twice. When you call it a concoction, it sounds more like a science experiment than something for tea time. Oh yes, that's because different blends can have very different properties. Some calm you down, some make you feel jelly, some give you energy. Today's particular event is something quite special. So you're really in for a treat. That sounds ominous. There's so many different balls up there on that charming little set of white shells. Oh, do be careful, Bruno. You mustn't try the contents of any of these balls, even if you're hungry. I wouldn't do something stupid like that. I'm not a child, you know. Well, I wish I could say the same for Harry. The other day, he polished off a full bottle of one of my alkaloids. He what? Said he was hungry. I'll be extra careful. Ah, yes. This is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the bottom hut today? A blue carbuncle? Yes, from the case of theft that Huey solved ages ago. The theft of a particular stone. A carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see? Especially if it's cut with a round top. Oh, really? And this garnet was blue, was it? Well, that's the thing. They're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered. Oh. So who knows how what the stone gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case. A proper Sherlock Holmes conundrum, huh? Oh, this show's about this. Shh. Now another word. Ah, yes, I see. It would be a collar for breed of miniature canines with a particular long neck, and for winter use. Actually, it's the armband I've always swore to symbol as my role as a defense lawyer. Precisely, which leads us to one conclusion. Your arm is, in fact, a particular long neck of a miniature canine. I'm starting to wish I never shown this to him now. This man's barking mad. Alright. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. But it first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at the London pawnbrokery. Turned out to be one part of a much more far-fetched regime plot that involves the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time, unforgivable mistake. Which failed me. The situation is utterly deplorable. It's not a hurdle. Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my rights to represent people in court revoked. I was told that I had to spend my time in research and study. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah, haven't you know? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room. And the notes about Mr. Jones's old cases. Brewing Irish a special blend of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You become something of a man around here. Start on the silverware next, Mr. Master Arhuro. Well, I'm thinking I'm going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically, Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall. Lord Strongheart? Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favourite fellow. He's not mine either. He's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one that can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. I can't do that just sitting right here. The whole London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most of that science, the most modern technology, the finest work of art, and the feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. Oh, do you know what I like to do? I like to look down on one of those lovely balloons. Hang on, do you mean those things fly? Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do. All you need is holler. Hi, how does holler have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all. That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will be common knowledge. Will just be common knowledge. I suppose they might be. Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the opening experimental stage yesterday. Apparently there was a huge explosion. So, I wish I'd seen it though. I'd love to see how bad some of these experiments really are. That's an innocent 10-year-old girl. See here. Every page in this paper carries some art or other about the great exhibition. But the brighter thing in show, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. You just got this out of the core records. Child cast behind. Is that a metaphorical way to refer to the back pages of the paper? Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments that demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibitions from around the globe. It all seems so positive and hopeful in the coming century. We almost go see it properly before too long. So many glowing reviews about the Great Exhibition, everything going on there. Other than this rather gloomy one, that is. Wait, what? What's the matter, Reno? The Reaper attacked? That's Lord Van Seeks. That must be one of the Jones was talking about. You know any more, I wonder? Someone lost a cat! Reaper attack. Mysteries about this. A fellow with a wishing sound rude. I'm currently in the middle of a very important blink. Perhaps some other more convenient time, There's that time for your inappropriate blinks, or are lay all day for... Just so I know. Are you investigating a particular tricky case at the moment, Mr. Jones? You can say that, I suppose. Nothing worry on. That's not like you. Sorry, kids says, shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruto. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. You're acting very strangely, Huey. You mean, Iris? Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Huey's mood. Oh! Is it really a kiss that's bothering you? Iris, please! You mustn't exercise your as to the powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say? Put yourself in the shoes of the individual by whom you're making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes. Never mind. Once I had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. That was a deep sigh. It says in the paper that Lord Van Seek was attacked. That's terrible! You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes. Prosecutor Baron Van Seeks. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in the case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at a trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. Even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hands of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruto? Yes, seen the Reaper's retribution of work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among them, Hercules, is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really? The capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Van Seeks has been like this before? This is not the first time. He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my goodness! Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Seeks hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know? Well, in the article here it says, as to what what of Lord Van Seeks and his condition, all were revealed in tomorrow's morning edition. Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, I can't wait until tomorrow. In that case, you should have to inquire with somebody in the know. But, hey, a strong heart, perhaps. Well, I must be leaving now. Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. Ha! You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me off guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you'll be wasting your time. If I hadn't crossed my mind, now I'm wondering where you're going. Well then, see you later indeed. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out the door. Alright then, Reno, let's get going. Holy crap, she changed character. Iris, what are you wearing? I got you. Needs to go to the Great Exhibition. You're going to take me. What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court. Oh, well that sounds fun too. You're going to take me there then. Alright, just lower that weapon. Would you? Of course. And at the Supreme Court, then we can go to see the Great Exhibition. Look us. We can actually go up here. Okay, so which way? Well, no, it's very real. Oh, it's the world famous this great detective and his young companion Iris. It seems people from all over the globe come to engage his consulting detective service. Right. Our legal consultation. And lodging and office located in the attic above the suite of the room rented by Mr. Sholmes. I call it consulting, but clients aren't exactly beating down the door. Let's go check it out. By 2nd of October, our Horto's legal consulting. Alright, so have a quick look at this. The lawyer, oh man? How many times you show me that, Reno? Oh, sorry. It's very important to me, that's all. I don't feel complete if I don't feel complete somehow if I'm not wearing it. Well, personally, I think you should try wrapping some different things around your arm from time to time. Really? Like what? Perhaps a pretzel. Pretzel? I've never heard that word before. Well, I think it's kind of German defense lawyer symbols. Interesting. I'll have to try wearing one sometime. Iris, about this paper. Oh yes, it's all about the Great Exhibition. I'm so excited about it. What do you know what you need to do? We should all go together and explore. I don't know. Sounds like it could be quite dangerous. We wouldn't want to get caught in an explosion as we were walking around the showgrounds. Oh, is that what you were... Sorry, is that what you think? What you think's going to happen? Is it? I'm so sad about the prospect of Naruto's anything to be open for business again. That's not what was. Oh, it's Naruto's legal consultation. Fancy. I've done a lot of studying these past 6 months, reading law texts and judicial proceedings. I'm sure I'm a better lawyer now. I can't wait to start practicing again. Nothing changes in here at all, has it? As though time is still on here since Susie went back to Japan. I want to keep it ready for Mr. San in case she was able to return to Britain at any point. So I left everything the way it was. Oh, I see. Right. And there was me thinking it's because of the way you are, Bruno. You know, never bothered to tidy up. I mean, Iris, this isn't the time or place to bring up my tendiness. Or lack of it. The office speed. And Mrs. Hannah's gone. The shufflers aren't representing... Sorry, the shufflers aren't represented to correct me. Maybe I'll have to do it myself. That's not speed, Miss Naruto. It's a shovel. Ah, so you're a spitter, aren't you, Bruno? What? You want to follow out? Alright, I'm not going to argue with a native English speaker who has some kind of gun. The kettle gently simmering away. They're on top of the stove as usual. It was kind of Mr. Sound to stand that Japanese tea you really like, don't you, Iris? But for me, it's the sound of the stove and the burning kettle I like the most. On biting winter mornings. I ain't gonna be back because I heard the door. Never mind. Someone's... And it feels even cozier in here with the delightful Iris poured the tea for me. I really couldn't manage without that wonderful young girl. Oh, Renault, it's so sweet of you to say so. Stop putting words in my mouth, please, Iris. Mrs. Sano's tea set that she left here with me. I still think green tea is too bitter, though. My goodness for sugar or milk. This room certainly wasn't expecting the acetis that one time. Green tea, I think. I never heard anyone let us scream like that before. Or seen falling down the stairs quite like that either. It always makes us smile and bliss when I feel a little down. I'm feeling a little down, sorry. Oh well. You know what that reminds me of? They gave you some black coffee when you weren't expecting it. You felt all the way downstairs as well, didn't you, Bruno? Yes. You think we could try to forget that, please, Iris? That doesn't bring a smile to my lips at all. It's Mrs. Sano's desk. I suppose it won't get used now that she's gone back to Japan. I'll just have to wait here patiently for its old friend to return. Even now, I sometimes find myself pouring a cup of tea for Susie by mistake. Ah, that explains why I sometimes find a steaming cup on her desk here. It shocks me every time. It's just one of your pranks, I see. It's no prank. I miss her. Ah, yes, the Daruma doll I brought with me from Japan. I almost attained the color of the other eye once I became a fully fledged lawyer. They're still winking at me. The strings say, I can wait as long as you need. Or maybe not. I'll just have to keep on doing the best I can, I suppose. I'll color it in for you, Bruno. Just that one eye, is it? No. It needs to be done with a bit of ceremony, the Iris. It's not just a toy for coloring in, you know. Now, at first glance, my desk here might look as though it's a mess. However, it's not messed up. Everything's exactly where I want it to be. Whenever Mrs. Sano looked at it, she put her hands on her hips and say, "Oh dear." Her way of saying that I should make more orderly and neat mess. I miss that. You sound just like Hugh, you know. He says the same about his mess. It's the kind of logic that transcends international borders, obviously. Look at those prawns and he's gently swaying around the tank. In the tank, regular cleaning, some fruit and fast sea water is all they need. And some conversation, of course. It seems like a lot of effort at first, but it was worth it. I'm starting to be able to tell what they're thinking. What do you think that so many people in London had aquariums like this once? When they were in Rogue. You'll never expect to find seeing animals he's in the middle of the capital. I think I'll have to name them soon. Oh no, Bruno! Disappeared! Oh no, Bruno's disappeared! What? Ah! I expect he's hitting my Huey. I think I prefer if you use your imagination more when naming the sea life. I never did see what Mrs. Sano's room looked like. You're going now, of course. I don't dare. They say a young man's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets. Although from the lot I used to hear when you would visit, I imagine it's mainly sweet. Oh, we used to have so much fun in Susie's room. You told me all sorts of interesting things about your country, you know. Well, we have one thing left. To the chiefs. Birds! 22nd October. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. Some things never change. Like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. It doesn't seem to be bothering ours at all, though. He's happily reading over there. Oh, I love this place! I always find so many interesting books here. Of course! I was forgetting that you've been here before. That time when we came here 6 months ago. Mrs. Sam was given the news that she was to return to Japan. Ah. I understand you wish to speak with me. Oh, Lord Strongheart! You've been keeping well? Let's see, since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I kept you waiting a while. My apologies. Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring in space. Good to know. No, that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Mael Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You can only savor the air for a moment in the Strand office to assess his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition in London is now underway at last. We are extremely busy as a result. Policing the grounds, guarding the new technology, dealing with petty crimes. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future! The world must embrace it! As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do. And it's my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing in my mind that's happened. Bruno, just take a deep breath and come up with it. We'll just come first, no point. I actually came here today to ask for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my rights to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a justice system. And I deeply want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? Here it comes. I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. That was never your intended role. Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this torture, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system home. That's what's his calling. That tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Soki was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? Sorry? The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was? What do you mean, mission? Not making any sense. Never mind. I've read all the reports you submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studying obeyingly your revised instructions. Do you mean... As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's wonderful news, Bruno. In fact, I believe I have the perfect kiss to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You're considerate, I hope. Of course. Please tell me more. Why do I have this suspicious feeling? You describe it as a curious affair. Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you warned that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh no. Yes, I read all about it. The professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. What's it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinetic, I think. Kinesis. Instantaneous kinesis? As in moving things with a click of a finger? That's right. It's just what my herbal lens needs. A dash of devil may care. Whatever the serious incident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris' imagination. It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Osmond. Odie Osmond? An investigator and a well-known figure in society. Large explosion? Man died? The man responsible for this experiment was Professor Albert Herbrine. Herbrine? Herbrine? I don't know. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow. On the charge of murder. What? Murder? If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet him in prison. There is very little time for you to carry out any kind of investigation. The Great Exhibition, scientific experiment gone wrong, and murder? He'll let me death before I even started. Still. Should we go to the prison straight away then? And try to meet up with this German professor, don't you think? Definitely. Ah yes, one more thing about the case. There's a connection between our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh? Lord Van Steeks? Hi. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though crime investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly! Birds! Ah! Was it the birds? London, a global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate unresolved cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what is known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly! The future policing! Ah! Again, is it the birds or just Strongheart? Incredibly high above? Britain's currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly! It's extremely alarming! Ah! Again, birds are Strongheart. Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure, the number of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. I can cite 12 arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Sorry? By way of apology of keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now. What? Oh, how fascinating. It all begins 15 years ago. I was... He's still going? And that more or less sums up my feelings of the matter. In the simplest terms, of course. Essentially, we established a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right. Yes, that's wonderful. Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now. Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful? I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic scientists. Science. Where is he? Have you seen this? Reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition? Of course! No, not that! The story in the back page! What story? The Reaper attacked? Ah, that. You enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not? Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he? There's no need for concern. Lord Van Seek would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If it interests you. It does. Strangely. Fortunately, Lord Van Seek's ember when he attacked unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. How was he attacked, though? Do we know? It's really the two events that occurred a month ago. A leader of a couple of criminals organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Seeks. But the man was acquitted. I have no doubt. Large sums of money were thrown behind the scenes. Sorry, large sums of money? A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. But you're suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely. Victim's henchmen certainly seem to think so. It was a man by the name of Osmond. Mr. Odai Osmond. Odai Osmond. Did you say Osmond? The man who died in the big explosion of the Great Exhibition? Yes, known publicly as an infestor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Unbelievable. I wonder, can I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Try me. Why do you use Lord Fan 6 as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet a mysterious end outside the courtroom. That I'm fearful of that fate. They seek to strike at Lord Fan 6 first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still, something's clearly going on here. I have Fan 6 work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any death of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trial are nothing to do with him. That doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand? Van Seek may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. He will continue to prosecute on behalf of the crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may start to fidget. Maybe starting to fidget. $11 late? That's quite something. That meeting has already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness is inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it'll stop for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes! Where did I find Lord Fan 69? I would assume he's at his office. Right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Sir Herbrand's defense entirely in your hands. Oh, of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Good location. You go to prison, but prosecution office. Okay. Your private office with Lord Baron von Seeks within the prosecution office. Very curiously, we had ooh. 22nd of October, prosecutor's office. Ooh, so this is the Legendary Reaper's office. Yes, it appears so. It sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazing deadly atmosphere. Oh, is that? Who the figure was so still? I haven't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. What are you doing here? Ah! He's as unlucky as I thought he'd be. Actually, even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're doing well. I am. So, who's that person over by the wall being punished for falling or something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh? That's my apprentice. And he's sitting there of his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. It must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. He's very able in combat. A requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? The Reaper? I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming that is such a fabled being generally inhabits our great courtrooms. This was the thing. I know you've seen this around my armor, but what is it exactly? It's the market of the fence lawyer. In Japan, at least. And what's your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor? Oh, well, I don't know, really. I can understand, at least. There's merit in reminding yourself of who helped you become who you are today. Oh. But that's a personal matter. Something you may want to keep close at all times. Not something to flaunt. No, I suppose not. Thank you for understanding me, though. Lord Fan Seeks, about the article in this paper. Ah, yes. It seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me. It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though. Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you can tell us more about him. Let's examine things. Lord Fancy's desk looks so stylish. And that marble chest set beside it. Chest? That's the Western Pheasant or Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems. Oh, really? You probably like chess problems in that case. I love to challenge Lord Fancy sometime. But better at shogi problems. You really want to challenge yourself, you can do that at your own home. No. Look at that fine collection of hollow shell. This is a bottle neatly lined up here. My hollow bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes and the finest vineyards I visit. And I personally oversee these shells as being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world. And yet you throw them around in court as if they're worthless. Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wild at the mark sometimes. Oh! Before you open your mouth next time, you consider the poor artsman whose work you defile. So, it's my fault? Certainly me. How could I ever have thought otherwise? Oh, look! It's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showground. It's amazing! I wonder why it's here. Perhaps he needed to take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person. Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue for a ticket. Surely it's obviously that I'm using it as an investigative aid. Ah! You Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved. I really didn't think he overheard that. That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted this didn't do a good job of capturing Lord Fancy's facial features. Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated its Jack's handsomeness, I think. Ah, that reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. Hi, Fane. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it? That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Oh, then who is it? Look at all those ancient castings lined up in the wall there. Us in the Reaper's chamber. Or all the caskets. You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying in the courts? Sorry, who escaped convicts in court are lying inside dead, do you? That's a bot. Don't actually do it. Ridiculous notions going through your head, man. This is my collection of fine vintage. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for clearing that up. We and I were just amusing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper. I wouldn't. If you haven't invited yourselves to my office and talked nonsense within my earshot. There's bots? What? Those are bots! Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect. What about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was familiar. He's not the flying kind. He must be a dear friend of the Reaper then. I think the familiarity is more likely. Scary though, either way. It really looks like a punishment to me. Never seen someone sing like that before. He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think perhaps he's dead? If he were dead, Bruno, he wouldn't be sitting up waiting. But anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us. He's not dead. Lord Strongheart said that the assailants last night was some sort of revenge attack. True. Carried out by henchmen of Odiasman's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably, some hoped to kill me before that happened. Odi Osman. He's always masquerading. He's one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. His enormous wealth came to him by underhand means via his criminal activities. He used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper. But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, and in extraordinary circumstances. It was a most unusual cause of death. I know about that. It was a super high voltage instantaneous kinetics gone wrong. Mr. Osmond dying when the demonstration on the public experimental stage ended up in an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you? Well, no. That does seem a little far-fetched. This man really is the failed Reaper. Then he has to be innocent of this particular death, at least. It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Bruno? I mean, what's with you taking on the professional defense for the trial tomorrow? What? You're going to be defending him? Yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert Harbarai. That's right. Do you know him by any chance? Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. Or what? I understood that Professor Harbarai was from Germany, though. Harbarai is from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research. That's all. You were students together. I was in the facility of law, of course, and he in science. So our paths rarely crossed. Curiously, we got along. Though I've not met him since my university days. I'm certain I didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. With you of all people representing him. Only if I made this... Won't make this office alive. He's actually being charged with murder, it seems. Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me. By you? But you mean it so... And as if you and the professor have been friends. We are friends, it's true. Then why would you do this? If the Reaper is the prosecution. There's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed! But Lord Van Seek's thinking. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean I'm a crown prosecutor and immortal like any other? I'm no demigod. But they're all dead, haven't they? The people you prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal. Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who without question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. But that's not true for Mr. Natsumi, for example. He wasn't a foul wretch at all. Nor was Shinny, in fact. He's ever so hardworking now. I can't deny that since I've encountered you, things have taken a turn. The point is this. If any of those foul wretches that escaped justice substantially died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hands of their own kind. It is not my work. Or Strongheart said to see him. He believes you're not involved in any way. You were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true. Fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the numbers of serious crime in the capital have dropped substantially. Oh! It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful of their lives. You mean to say... I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I'll adopt it gladly. And with honor. But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed. If that is my fate, let God decide. Lord Pansik. He is my tool leash to become a prosecutor. Oh, sorry, he's in my tool leash to become a prosecutor. So you could say that he's my apprentice, I suppose. Ah! Like you are the Hui then, Bruno. I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with the Great Detective. He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask. On Lord Strongheart's orders. No one knows the man's face, or indeed his identity. But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual? Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions. Hope you're right. Ah! Task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collab with all the briefs. Nice to meet you. Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. Didn't know he assisted, and yet somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anyone from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. Oh, I see. Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? Oh no, I mean, sorry. Didn't mean to. The way he stood there so casually. Yet with that flawless posture. Couldn't be. Ah yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, what's that? That Nipponese man. Is he faring well? Sorry? The one arrested twice since the session 6 months ago. With that stoop and that mustache and the jitter. Ah, Mr. Nosemi, you mean? I'm not sure you'd be very pleased to find you identified him from that list, Bruno. He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion here, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I'll advise you to spend investigating the case. Yes, thank you for the advice. And for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Suzuki-san. Author Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. I never imagined the would be friends with Matt Sanders, did you? That's a turn up for the books. Oh hey Asian! I'm doing well. Hope you're doing good. I did not know as I was so in the conversation. Matt Sanders, do you Mr. Burn? That's good to know. That's great to know. Is there any more questions the professor posted? Okay. That dude? Really? Interesting. Alright. I'm guessing you're probably using that for TMs then. Because they're limited again. Well. There's a Pokemon. But it costs 500 Pokemon. Ah. Okay. So tip. Plenty of monster. Oh wow. Oh. Look. What have I walked into? Oh, the high voltage instantaneous kinetic machine. He's our defender this time. And there was a murder for an accidental explosion in a scientific experiments. And he's a professor. Dang, I think I have the name here. List. No, he's not listed yet. analysis, though. Okay. Well, let's see what we can get out of him. Maybe I should not have did this. Yes. Oh. Well. Which one do we have? Oh, yes, I can guess. Albert Herbrini? A scientist who invented the machine to demonstrate super high voltage instantaneous kinetics. Translation mostly just a teleporter. He's defending the case. Oh, okay. I can Lord Francis. Yep. University colleagues. Frankfurt. Oh. I didn't know at this point in time, at the point in times, Frankfurt were also North what? And then as well. Okay. Well then, let's get to talking. So I think this is probably one of those strange roles who have the entire investigation part done. Yeah, I might look into that tipping at some point. For TMs, maybe. Unless it's ready to get all the TMs again. The other answers test? Checking that one. Wait, so he did? I'm... This is gonna be a weird case. Possibly. Well, we'll see further in line. We'll figure all of that. Yeah. Oh. If it really was an accident. And yet it's not. special deposition for scientific the biggest equipment that. Oh no. Let me get the summary of that one. This case is treated as murder. Okay. Yeah, well, let's learn more about this super high voltage instantaneous kinetics machine. Oscar, I'm just gonna call it a teleporter. It's just that. Huh. Also, maybe some point down there we might use Pokemon. Catch up, we don't know. I mean, that's theoretically possible, but I don't think that's a thing you should put to the test. It's at least without going through all the safety procedures first. No, I don't think it was. I'm just thinking it. Did they know each other? Oh, they must have. Or just translation fun. Possibly. Oh, there we go. That was the open center stuff. Possibly. Alright. Even working. Yeah, she's got a point. Irish 1, college professor 0. Oh. Although, wouldn't it be a good idea to try that with like something simple like an apple or something first? I should not be looking at this objectively. Huh, different from the one we see. Oh. So something changed. Something's up. Also, probably go on the Ashworth route. I don't think there's any point in just making the German sign joke here. Well, let's see what else we got here. I'm pretty sure that's a pun somewhere. Okay. Let's see. Oh. I'm more concerned. I'm more on his eyes on his movement than anything else right now. I don't know. Although I do think he may have a few screws loose. Well, we'll find out more when we get further in the trial. Okay. That's also true. Okay. That's correct. That's 2 squares for off check side. Italian. Okay. Science person. Okay. Well, we got his confidence in. Well, that would be a thing. Investigation time! And are we sure are supposed to go to investigate or have fun? Yes, that is a gun. Although from what it seems, he just fires smoke. Unless somehow between the first game and the second game, she's actually put in an actual threatening gun. Well then. I wonder if Grayson's here. It's a foot. Oh, there. Well, good to say they're getting along well. That's one way to break the argument. Before you know this, I have no idea why he's like that. When Iris is around. They had to put it in there. Ah, I get it. I got the reference. Also, yeah. Once, twice, 3 times the lady. I guess that's one of the few references I've actually got for this entire run. Oh yeah, right, because I'll have to go... This is the moment hand act. Okay. Yeah, it tends to be 90% of the time. Did she just... You did. Okay, that's some things never change. Oh yeah, she. I read. Ah, detective. Apprentice detective. I was 97. Oh. Yes. Usual thing as usual. I say it just makes it easier. Oh, that some things never change. Oh, look at that. Oh. That's quite a profession change. Oh, so that's going to continue on. What happened? Oh. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. I might, like I said, but then of course. Okay. People are in. Well, the Reaper's kind of like I'm upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. Okay. Also need to remember. Okay, so in Slime Neck is using this. Huh. Well then, last you get to business. Apparently it was a spectacle. Wait, then is she gonna be a witness? Okay. Oh. I feel bad for Grayson. What's this test in a way? Okay. I sure didn't. It does sort of work. Yeah. There was some sort of thing. What do you think they... Oh! Okay, you see yourself idea up above the scaffold. Oh. Or the glass for me. And the cage. What the... Started the pit. Really dig it being through there. In there. What is the... So it works away? You get the insights, but hey, let's pause right. Why sound? Ah! Okay. Oh, that's very helpful. Okay. No. I'm guessing Strongheart how in this. No. So we're investigating that weird. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is interesting. The forensic investigation team. Oh. Interesting. Very far. Anyway. Alright. Then bleeding fire. If you were giving him as much as an earful back, as I remember. I think. Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make I'm so stubborn. You say something to him, Odo? Go on, see if you can further him. He's up on the platform above, isn't he? That machine exploded. You can try, copy Bruno. Crazy will listen to us. Look as though somebody dropped something from behind the tree there. Dropped or hidden? Is this some part of machine? Look, maybe. Could have found the platform above the blast. In the blast. Oh, nothing. Get mysterious contraption. Look, what's this? A ripped piece of cloth? That kind of fabric I've seen before. Sorry, freaking stiff. Looks extremely durable. It's canvas, I think. With some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred. Well. Maybe that means it has something to do with the explosion. Let's make a note of why Ginny made yawns. For some reason, the ground is damaged on the spot. Look. It's almost as if there's a fire or something. Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt ember too. Well, I suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have been. I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Bruno. Okay. The Crystal Tower is certainly an apt name. It was spelled to be a focal point of an excavation, and it definitely is. Being so tall of all that glass. I can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. There's a lot of exhibitions inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck. There's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. I hear you have the queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors. Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the field experiment may as well be the biggest draw. And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut. Suddenly, it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower. Apparently, everyone's taking the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to get up in the balloons now. Londoners must be very patient people. I've been meaning to ask you for a while now. What are those funny round balls floating in the sky? Oh, they're the flying balloons I've been talking about. I wanna go up in one so much. Alright. I read about situations like this in the magazine about strange phenomena. Creatures from outer space coming round and round flying objects to attack Earth. What? I suppose in the house of other planets are bound to be interested in the great exhibition. This is ours. It's happening. Oh, it's not. Don't worry. I'll explain it to you later over a nice cup of tea, Bruno. That's where the cove ended up in an instant kinetic, or well, what they call it, dead of course. And yet they're calling the experiment a success. What's the wooden scuff there for? The coppers, lads, set it up after the incident happened. They get the buy then, I think. I don't know, really. Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then? Nah. Look at those more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition and keeping on the lookout for the fun stuff. Hank Grayson doesn't... You say that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinetics? How do I get up there? Alright. Research office leads to the stage above. To go up there and investigate the exact spot where these were being conducted. My 2nd of October. Great exit. Oh, there's a bit of lightning. Over. It's great. Experimental state. So this is it then. That's it. The machine that blew up. Oh, what must have been a magnificent explosion. I'm saying my first share. You've seen things like this before, you mean? Of course, he's always seen experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry. Ah. That might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes up wafting up the stairs. One time, he had something that exploded with such force, it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there seeing Bruno. It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof. Well, anyway, that's nothing about that. It's time to investigate. I think Inspector Grayson's over there. He seems to be even followed by something. Whilst eyeing up the machine carefully. Really? He's just looking confused to me. He gripped himself upon magnificently and mercilessly. As someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air. Yes, not blasted. That's the point. Yes, that part's crucial, really. Something like that's even possible, though. Ours. Oh, Bruno, I'm just a child. How should I know? A child wouldn't suit you, you mean? And from what I could tell, I think you. I think you're pulling this lever here. No, stop! Don't touch that! Haha, that was practical. Instantaneous kind of. So he flew over there, Gracely. He's your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here. Sorry, you have some of my latest special blend to make up for it. Huh, wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful. It's just like old times, this is. We're signing Professor Hebrani is in court tomorrow, Inspector. We should be allowed to investigate the scene. Please. Alright, we should be allowed to examine the scene, sire. Listen, sir, I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's that blasted Special Division for Scientific Equipment Act to blame. It's driving me potty. Oh yes, that's special dispensation. The Professor mentioned that too. More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government thinks is planned sometimes. But we're allowed to just look, aren't we? Eh? Surely that's alright, isn't it, Gracie? Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please don't the hand study, will you? Don't worry. We won't dream of touching anything. Will be Bruno. Bruno knows how to get what she wants. Hibali is not everything is. Professor, let's look at the escape unscathed, I say. Let's have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything, I'll make sure I'll kill before I get this myself, you hear? I wouldn't touch a thing, I promise. So please, spare the. Sorry for your attention. Anyway. Do you think this machine. Do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? Yes. looking totally careless. Give it a rest, Sunshine. We are allowed to examine all the bleeding scrap metal. Maybe we can answer that question. But we can't we? Because of the annoying rules, you mean? Exactly! The annoying obstruction flaming rule! Oh. What's the base machine here? There. Oh yes, there's a tool, so okay. Looking for the wire mesh. It's a screwdriver, I think. Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle is shaped like a capital letter A. Is it? Oh yes, you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I say. There's something I'll make sure I kill you before I get strong on myself, I say. Yes, I understand, sorry. I only touched it a teeny weeny bit. But Grizzly, I'm very curious about the screwdriver. Really, very, very curious. Of course, your leadership. You're so clever, your leadership. Fancy spotting something like us. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it. But Bruno found it first. I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. He's gone off with it. That's very mean, I'm afraid. Dr. Grayson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake next one's installment now. Or Grizzly. Should have talked though. Amazing warship device is pointing towards the crystal tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shut by that thing wherever they're going. I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Bruno. It was out of the beam people to the crystal tower, where they would be reconstructed in the original form. Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course. I suppose it's true, yes. But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? Okay. What is that gigantic thing over there? It looks like an enormous water wheel. Oh, that's a Ferris wheel. There will be people riding inside those little cabins you can see. Why? Well, they rotate nice and slowly. It's another way to see the surrounding scenery. Wait, it's turning? It's completely still. Yes, because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about half an hour. You're mad enough to go in one. It'd be more than the whisk around fast, don't you think? I feel as though you might have just invented a new good ride there, Bruno. Okay. There's also strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time. Oh, in your country, Bruno? I wish I could go and see it. I resent a particular steely samurai with a sense of one of your stories I've written especially. Oh, I see what they did there. Steel samurai. I see if I could get Harry into a jam again in some Baratetsu Ninja Master Ninja. You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think. Oh, well that's dull. Oh, but I do know a prosecutor, which Croman has top knock I could introduce you to. Oh, Croman, really? Do you think you have my picture taken with him? Do you? Assuming he's recovered from that trim possum I gave him a year ago. Yes. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body. and then beam him across the Crystal Tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True, it was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, man. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Apparently it's something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. The government's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than they all spot a public safety infringement. Yeah, infringement. They can be the first to develop some new technology. It makes it more powerful in the future, you see. Yes, I suppose that's true, in a way. So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists is right at the moment. Rights at the moment. Sort of rights. They're making it so that any theories the brain have remain their legal property, as it were. Right for development into a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the inferior reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new special dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it. Ah, I see now. Only the people with permission to investigate here are from some new brand of development at the yard. The Forensics Investigation Team, it's called. We've been relegated to keeping guard. The Forensic Investigation Team. Any old fool can see that this heap of scrap metal was sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flimming thing with it. Poor Grizzly. He's very hand up, isn't he? Remember again, what's this legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here? I haven't me at the sunshine. It's the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Yes, I think he mentioned that recently. A real twinkle in his eye, as I remember. I'm sure he did, ladyship. I'm sure he did. Pass especially for the script expedition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets represented, that's a guarantee right to maintain the inventor's confidentiality. What does that really mean? Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day in this exhibition. Although a good half of them are a load of coppers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself. Thanks for that. Oh, I love how some of the inventions here are. It's also fun. It might be fun to you, but remember the Force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine? Hey, thanks science. That's what I say. Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job. You'll soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all those shammers bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there's a point, sadly. There's a point, sorry. Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant. A scientist gets funding? Exactly. And that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming from far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. You can see why I say this now. Hang science! Hang it! Oh, maybe I see your point. Keep on. Apparently, Professor Herbrei lives and works in Germany now to conduct this research. That's right. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition. That's my understanding. Probably after one of the government's research grants. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. Turns out he was at the university with someone we both know. Lord Van Seek. Eh? What's that? That's news to me. But if Van Seeks mans the prosecution, then the accused, the professor's fate is sealed. Because the Reaper will get him one way or another. Blimey! The man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in that head of his. Talking of Van Seeks, this morning's paper around the store and being attacked. Read that? Oh yes. But the Reaper's completely fine. Nothing to worry about. Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, huh? How long is that business going to keep up, I wonder? The victim in this case, the inventor, Mr. Osmond. He was another one of the Reaper's victims, so I've heard. Lord Byron Fonseca is a top-class prosecutor. Even he can't always push the right verdict, though. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about your being bribed and evidence being falsified. That's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspects Fonseca initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court. Although the man himself denies the charge. Well, we done a thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached: the Lord Fonseca is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. No question in my mind. I'll stick my reputation on it, I would. But that's true, and how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have coincidentally died if no one killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery, after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Herbrei mentioned something else. He said that at university, Fonseca was a totally different person, easygoing and kind. The what? He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what that was? No clue. Really? Look, I got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go make a nuisance yourself elsewhere, eh? Guess that's all we can get here. Right, are you done here, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry. Isn't it about time you were leaving? Or rather, it is about time you were leaving. There's that lot out here now. That lot? A forensic investigation team. They'll be giving me a heave phone in a minute, too. Oh dear, Professor Grizzly. Here, have another cup of my special blend to cheer you up. That hits the spot. Yep, hits it every time. Well, at least I've seen the crime scene with my own eyes. It looks like this is as far as we're going to get of our investigation here, at least. I've been thinking. Huey might know something, might he? But what? About Mr. Reaper? About what happened to Lord Fonseca, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe. I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. Why? He's in the middle of some big kissing. Why do I have a feeling he's right behind us and we don't know? Here, this is what you need. What's this? Some kind of entrance? Madame Truspel. Is this supposed to mean something to me? You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. You can go now if you like. No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow. But that's where he is. What? This popular London attraction? Yep. How do you know that's where he went? You even told me. You told me to keep the secret from you, Bruno. Madame Truspels. I don't see how this could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then strange things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Oh, okay. The museum. Oh no. Where is he gonna hang from? Where is she gonna appear from? My 2nd of October, Madame Truspel's Museum of Waxwork. What is this place? With these terrifying scenes. Why are the people so still? Guillotines? Ruthless murderers? I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight. They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked? Wax models? I read about the bodies and the wax ones in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpse are kept after death, part of them could turn into wax, apparently. It's called a did procure. Stop talking about creepy things like Bruno. You're scaring me. Anyway, a did procure doesn't form well. You know, it's only in Fire Pacific. Ah! Nah. I just remember something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. None of the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas. That can't be! You expect me to believe that? Just look at them! Oh. There's no way anyone can make models of people that are this realistic. Especially that one on the right. Totally not a wax model. And they're all such gruesome scenes. So, yeah, they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait. What is it? Oh. No. I'm actually seeing things. Not another dead body. Is this an arm? It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the Waxwork models have fallen over. Nope. Think. Be the work of one of those mass murderers here, do you? Bruno, stop scaring me. Is it a wax arm or a real one? Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Poke down at her and see how it feels. Objection! Is this an double Western Tsujiri? I don't know what that is. You know, when an unscrumptious samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword. I still don't know. No. But actually, a waxwork samurai would probably be hugely popular. Did you model it? Do you think, Bruno? Doing that? Did you hear anything you mentioned? Well, I do have a sword. I have no intention of testing in how sharp it is on human subjects. For now, at least. We'll let you stay there for a little while. These models are so well made. I can tell what a wax and what's the real human. Or maybe all these exhibits are real people. And when it's closing time, all the visitors are gone, they suddenly start moving about. Thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time or was on way home. That big heavy curtain, it's in a very prominent position, isn't it? I get a nasty feeling there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it. Oh yes, that's the famous two-spell special exhibition. It picks one of English's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee to have a look? Pay more money? To be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment. It was only a suggestion. Is that some infamous murder? Yes, called Jan the Ripper. All her victims were young women. Oh, I see what they did. Oh, okay. I knew it! Tell by the way she's holding the knife. Surely a sign of a murderer. Well, yes. Ah! What's the matter, Bruno? I worked it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in her victim's score. Not according to the information about the exhibit on the little board there. Here. I didn't mention anything about the bathtub. Really? Sorry. I think it's significant. I still think it has to be there for a reason. Well, I think there's only one thing left we can do. It's the Great Detective, Mr. Herlock Jones! Mr. Jones has his own wax statue in here? Really? Well, he is a world famous after all. It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? His skin crawl to have a look at. I know. Look, Bruno. You can kick this tree and it doesn't move a muscle. You can't go around kicking. You can't go around kicking the exhibition arrows. Why? You must have kicked him in the shins. It just moved, I'm sure. Not just a little bit tighter. Hmm? Really? Did it? And look closely. There's a bead of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look! There's a great murder scene enjoying, much more appealing.
Hold it!
My dear fellows, I take exception to you recording in such a manner, as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Jones! I knew it! Iris! What possessed you? I strictly forbid you from the vault. My temporary waxwork secret is not a hurdle. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick! Could you not have exerted a little more restraint? You winded me! Yeah, she must have totally kicked him in the shins. But Bruno has something he needs to ask you. Ah, a question. And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. Here we are. Well, I can't deny your timing is impeccable. I mean, tune in. This is more being stationary like that. And my great brain, upon which all my success has been built, would have turned into wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the power you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss. Unimaginable loss. Oh, Huey, do you like to talk nonsense, don't you? He could know something is true. But Lord Van Seek and what happened in the past to change him. And now, you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? But you're in luck! I suddenly got quite taken in with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it is related to the matters of which you come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow, but for now, I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? But this, as you see, I'm rather busy at the moment. If it's advice you seek, come to my office tomorrow and I'll be happy to help you. Shall we say 3 rumpins per item as a console fee? That's 2 hours of gas, that is. Shrooms, would you have a look at this newspaper? You've been to my room and helped yourself, have you? Let's not turn this into a scandal, shall we? Well, because I've already read it, one thing immediately strikes me. This paper is old news. What purpose should have shown me this? What's done is done! You must distinguish, my dear fellow! Distinguish the old from the new! There are some conversations you wish you never started. Okay, yeah. What is this place? Madame Tuspel comes to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are some museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tuspel family, they say. They've earned renown during the French Revolution for waxwork of victims of the guillotine. Ugh, that sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expression of the faces of the condemned. Apparently, the sculptures made the model was directly from the corpses. Right there at the site of execution. At the... That really turns my stomach. That's just one of the several legends about Tuspel's family. Whatever there's any truth in it, I cannot say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin, is this House of Horrors. House of Horrors? Of course, visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals and the gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. And they're even stiffer now than the models of them. We heard of poor taste. My dear fellows, the public lives for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. So, the hideous exhibition here are... They're all portraits of real events that actually took place. Is it just me? The temperature here seems to drop. Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, he's back to being a waxwork. See? What do you mean by temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibit here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour, I hone in on a different killer in one of the displays and adopt a new pose to snare them. When members of the public come for a closer look, I give them a hand to shake. For a shilling, I happily allow them to take a photograph of us. Us? Does that mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellows, isn't it obvious? For the money! He really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent. And I have the ravenous hours to consider. Oh, hey. I'm so hungry. Push comes to shove. I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Miss Naruhodo. Is he threatening to rope me in tonight? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? That's a special treat. You may have your pick of murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Remember, Miss Naruhodo, ignore me at your peril. Back to being a waxwork again. It's me, or his final remark there sound a lot like a curse. Well, what was you like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Seek. Ah, our friend, Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, I just... So I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I've learned. About Lord Van Seek, about Professor Herbrand, and about the strange coincidence that they have been at the university together. So I was wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Seek such a different person. I'm sure that you know her, Huey. You said there was something going on here in this civil hall before. That something was afoot. And that you believe it was related to what I was asked to ask you about. Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly calmed up. Well, seems your reason all about greetings. Oh, hello. Where'd she appear from? What's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? I hope you are appreciating my museum. Sorry, have we? Mr. Sholmes, do you know that? Not again! My apologies. I am a Renza to spell. Esmeralda to spell. This museum is my museum of waxwork. What? You're the Madame to spell? Bien souffreur. Though only 26 years young, I might add. Is that significant somehow? I'm a madame in name only. It has a certain... Right. First, I must apologize for my waxwork, or rather, one waxwork in particular. Let me actually double check see what that actually translated to us. Bien, sales sweet. course. I do not know why. That would be Mr. Sholmes then. I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time you move from near the scientist, there will be boiled in trouble. She sounds deadly serious. That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask questions about Van Seek now? That's not like I've ever said before. Absolutely something is afoot. Right here in this museum, I mean. Yes, I know, but I'm so curious. I want to know what happened here. Haven't we got enough on our plate already? Oh, Madame, there's something I'd like to show you. Yes, what is it? Then I remark on it to myself immediately, and I've been quite curious. I've been very curious since. Ah, well, it's actually the mark of the penciler in the Empire of Japan. Oh, really dumb age. Not quite as interesting as I hoped. Exactly where you're expecting from an armband. Can I show you this? Oh, hi, fascinating. Is it this made from X? No, sorry. This is evidence. Why would you want to show me this? Oh, any wax lyrics about wax? Is that it? Oh. Okay, I think it's just the same as everything else here. Okay. Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tuspel? I did. I am the third generation of waxworks artisans. You know? Gosh. It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were queer. I think I pronounced that wrong. Living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution, she did. So that is when she acquired the savior Fle, that leads to the astonishing lifelessness. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Huey. What you see in exhibit here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people in which they were modeled. In the hours immediately following their execution, that is the secret of the extraordinary likeness. Extraordinary lifelessness. That sounds terrifying. All walk-ins of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go into extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see. Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying? Do not fear. Sorry? This room is only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians, something for every taste. I hope. I'm pretty sure I got some of the printed. Because actually dragged me straight in here. Let me think of it. Sorry, perhaps I should beat you in the things. What's the situation with that? Ah! My temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal. Oh, what sort of proposal? My dear madame, with these spare exhibitions, boss exhibitions need the addition of a world-famous great detective. Or words to that effect. Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective. It's the Great Detective, actually. He's very specific about it. Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to terms. Let me guess. Someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for our services. For mere £500, I will dive into your coffin of wax this very moment. Or words to that effect. So Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch. Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at this moment due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead. Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing though, does he? I would think not, but he was very insistent. I have a 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by the morning. Or was it that effect? It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem. Is the consulting detective work not going so well? I wonder, can I ask you something? The answer for... I was just curious. I'm pretty sure I'm getting that pronunciation wrong. I'm just curious. Is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps? Whoever suggested such a thing to you? Oh, well, it was... Ah, and your temporary wax worker who mentioned it to me a little... He disappeared. A wax model is a work of art, not some tall, dry object for trade. Ah! There you are! Leaving the exhibit again when you should be walking? Do you wish to be melted down? My dear Madame Two-Spell, save your hands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait! It's our dear about your current problem that we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Why have I not? Turn as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective, whose services you may employ for mere 50 shillings. So please be aware that I prefer... No, I insist upon payment in advance. Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Before I engage my knowledge processes, I must ask that you clarify something. What, pray, is behind that curtain? That is the special exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it. Ah! A special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It must depict a special killer then, I presume. Would you be so kind to draw back the curtains, I wonder? Ah, absolutely none. There's nothing to miss behind there. Nothing to miss, madame? What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? Ah! I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond, before the situation worsens. Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a Sukon. I must confess, I peeked behind the curtains earlier. The Two-Spell exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet something surprisingly, the waxwork killer would expect to be is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however, is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. Well, well then, perhaps, Mr. Sholmes. Up on the floor is the ruthless killer himself. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even a waxwork, in fact. What? As skillfully made as these waxworks are, there's always distinguishable from real human. They are always distinguishable from real humans. So allow me to present my two conclusions. First, is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in the special exhibit. Why? Why would you say that? And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. Huh? He looks pale as a candle wax. I don't understand. So, Madame Tustel, as you agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famous secret detective and temporary exhibit at work. The Great Deduction. Game's afoot. Waxwork. Fate. Waxwork's fate. To begin with, we must ask ourselves exactly what is afoot here in the museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so heavily from your bag. But in my estimate, some £200. That is all my own money. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Not as much as an involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tustel. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by the public notice. Waxwork for sale? Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of £200. No. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are present. Who is this portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear that the man has suffered severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madame, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What deals the man in such a shocking blow is, of course, the £200! It would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most efficiently. What is she suggesting? He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of £200! Only when he came hand the money over did it occur to him what an extortionate amount he was paying. The money was no longer in his hand. As a result, the scene we see before us, he collapsed in shock. Yes! The killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price! And only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. Sold for cash? 2. Waxwork location. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let's just consider that problem for a moment. You cannot possibly... Whiff immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his handkerchief. Such as is worn by a policeman as a secret sign to follow Memories of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman currently investigating in this museum. Yeah, it's also Jones. I know him very well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay. What are you talking about? The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's police awards. I got that wrong. But now that we turn our attention over to the old man set before him in this particular unsightly fishes. Visage. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle, almost in fact, as if he were a waxwork. But you, your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madame. I noticed it once, of course. Observe! The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this is the old man in the waxwork is an obvious price tag. 4 pence, a tragic low price you might add. Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxwork will cracks. And yet you sold it to the poorly gentleman for an extraordinary £200. You know Sholmes had a gun. Well, it could be a gun. The sort of pluckery behavior that sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Is that so? Isn't that so, madame? I do not. Yes, the wax about you. Those already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and at a moment too soon. Discovered already? Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Ha! I see I've stunned you all in the silence. You have, Huey, you have. And you've obviously accepted this young woman in the process. Our culture looks awfully hot. If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Sholmes. Ah! The notorious Naruhodo 1 point. I'm all ears, but there, fellow. According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit features this old policeman. So, what would... that would mean that he's a particular ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? The killer policeman. Or a mole. Sorry? There's a mysterious serious murders that rattled the capital only last year. The police rushed to every scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether. And it turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Uttermole. You mean that there's... do you mean that who the sinister looking man they're supposed to be? Indeed. It's the particular grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that this countryman went only too well. But it's the £200 of money for a wax model. It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things into perspective. So, it's quite a lot then. Is there anything else you wish to add? Before I melt you down. That bubbling wax looks more and more ominous. The smell of that molten wax is starting to worry me. Mr. Jones did more or less just accuse her fists, so your fits. I think I might have to call upon your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright. Make some minor corrections to the detective's great deduction. Of course it's alright. We'll soon set things straight. Well, let's get started then, shall we? For Madame Toupee, fence her anger. That's what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellows. So, Madame Suspel, according to our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famous great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Cross correction! Hold it! Mr. Sholmes! How about going? Waxworks fit. Conclusion? I forget. To begin with, we must ask ourselves the exactly is in the museum. Going over time, but that's fun. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes heavily from your bag. My estimation, some £200. That's all my own money. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Not as much as the following glances you cast. This is, it would seem, Miss Madame Truspel. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance behind the £200 is revealed by the public notice. This is not the case. He definitely looked in that direction, it's true. But I'm not sure she sold any of her waxworks, even for £200. Oh. She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. For me, I wouldn't sell them for anything. For that much money, I would. But it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if the £200 could have some other significance. Let's follow the sure glance again, see where anything, if there's anything else that could explain it. What's that note doing pinned on the wall there? Oh yes, let's see. Dear Madame Tuspel, we've taken the prisoner from the room. The price for a safe return is £200. Have them ready by noon on October 23rd. What? It's just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone's kidnapped. Yes, it's a ransom note. Exactly. Seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all. Not alive and kicking. And he's not a waxwork or a model of mass murder. Not sure I pay £200 for him. I don't think the man's up for sale. Well, anyway, it's a silly place to put it. Our museum visitors could easily trip. I don't think the man was put there on purpose either.
Take that!
The significance of £200 is revealed by the ransom note. Quite so. I must congratulate those criminals on their inventiveness, abducting the waxwork. £200 is no small ransom note. Did you clearly intend to pay it? The model in question has special importance. So I put together all the money I had. In summary then, the £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let's explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who was the poorly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It appears the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madame, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What deals the man just checking blows to £200? So the waxwork is kidnapped. What does that leave us in terms of who this man is? We could just ask him when he comes around. I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris. Yes, you're right. Huey's trying so hard. We mustn't let him down. Well, there's little doubt he suffers a shock. That seems to be clear. In that case, what's the man turn? Hi. Let's have a closer look around. Okay. It must be. And, oh. Wait. A few seconds here, I'm gonna meet. Sorry about that. Anyway, wait a moment. Isn't this a left? This is a left hand as well. Look. Don't say creepy things, Iris. Please. And it seems very safe too. Huh. Okay. In fact, it's really hard. You mean... yeah, wax?
Take that!
What deals the man with such a second blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed. With a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow. How could you? The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. That'll be the right hand. But upon closer inspection reveals that it is in fact a left hand. Ah. And some of masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madame. It is the hand of a waxwork model. Yeah. Some of the visitors in the museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibition and cause they say it cause damage. What do you mean? That arm? Yes. This gentleman saw that they tried to remove it as a souvenir. No small keepsake. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree as you go to feed the blossoms. I'm afraid I have to teach this man a lesson. You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. As a result, the scene we see before us, he was knocked unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being, we have a conclusion. Yes, the killer in the special exhibit has been kidnapped. Kidnapped! Solved! Now, clarification is good already. Question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Just consider the problem for a moment. Yes, you cannot possibly. Sorry. What mainly strikes me in this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? My answer? I mean, only observe his neckerchief. According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to other policers that some crime is underway. A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard. That's Mr. Sholmes and hesitate to give away. Well, uncovering secrets is true detective's nature, of course. Right. Anyway, judging Madame Dussell's reaction to Mr. Sholmes' abduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified this man quite correctly. What the? This man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be. Ah, well that sounds it then. Right, this isn't a real person at all. Now their arms were ripped off, and the shoulders down. His arms been... Of course, that ties what we just found out.
Take that!
There's his shoulder stub. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only a sub. His shoulder stub. No such boneless human walks the earth. Of that, I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay. In fact, denying all odds, a waxwork, defying all odds, a waxwork medal. I seem to remember that it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes. He has become quite a celebrity in London, being a winner of no less than 3 police awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man. Naturally! What other explanation could there be? And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man's seat. Before him, the particular visual fidget. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle, almost in fact. See what waxwork. But the reaction only confirms my suspicion, madame. And those are once was observed. The telltale sign that instantly proves that whether or not this old man's work was obviously the price tag. Hello, policeman called Odormouth, was it? Too well known. It was over in the papers last year. I can't say I knew what he looked like. Very low price though. Crumpets isn't much money. Only enough for a few the arch of gas seems to grabs delightful lighting, in fact. So this is a special color taken from the special exhibit, is it? A waxwork? And no, something I stole from the museum and tried to ransom for £200. Is this Crushio kill policeman Odormouth? Really? Perhaps we should have a good look around again. Let's see. Another idea crops up. Look at this! Human's hand is fit like crazy! He seems to be fast asleep though. He's not tapping his consciously though. Presuming it must be a twitch. Never mind that. The point is, waxwork doesn't tap their feet. Or twitch. Look at his arm too. I've seen the scarf somewhere else. Around haven't we? Leaving. It's the secret sign. Lest other detectives know some kind of activities underway. Yes, it's a slightly strange choice of outfit if he's trying to go on nights. Ah, he must be a detective disguised as a policeman. Or a detective disguised as a waxwork model of a policeman. He doesn't look as though he's clever enough to think something like that though. Perhaps you should try to be a little more polite about him, Iris.
Take that!
Yeah, it was a 50-50 shot. Tells the sign instantly proves that whether not this old man's waxwork is the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic waxworks do not have the twitch. In other words, the splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. Slight shift in your choice of adjectives then. And there you have it. Well, Madame Tuspel? Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come here in the first place. He's clearly fatigued. He's sound asleep. But then, this is tag showing a price of 3 pence. Note that the price tag of the muffler, which the old bulb being purchased recently at a local market. I'm assuming you yourself the scoff type is on. Doesn't that strike you, Miss Naruhodo? Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show some criminal activity is currently underway. Of course, because as you know, there has been such criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, detective. So, it would seem that we finally arrived at the truth. A waxwork of a especially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped. On Scotland Yard are already investigating. But the model whereabouts remains a mystery. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Still a mystery. Deduction complete. Element 3. All sorts of people visit my museum here. Men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Anyway. Your great deductions were even more enchanting than I had been led to believe. It was a pleasure, my dear madame. I'm gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. As for your rough customer, I no doubt he regained conscious shortly and returned home. What concerns me more is the waxwork and the special display, if it was indeed genuinely abducted. Yes, tragically, it was. Then I would ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. In as much detail as possible, if you please. Very well. But after I have told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work. The talent of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel. But as you wish. We'll leave it for now. We did a lot on this one. But you know what? It's never gonna be a good one. Anyway, all our things up here. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day. Have a good week. We'll be back on this Monday, and we'll see where we go from here and learn more about this mysterious thief of the thieving of the wax sculpture. And then I'll see you all next time. Bye.